Can cold weather kill your battery? In this video, we're going to answer that exact question. We'll take a look at why your battery stopped in cold weather, what is the usual causes, and how to tell whether the battery needs charging or replacing. Let's start by understanding how the battery actually works. Cold slows down the battery's cranking power. A car battery just does not store power as a simple box of electricity. A battery creates power through a chemical reaction. These electrons which are produced is what then creates the power which is sent through to the starter. This is what we know as cranking power. The current is what gives the first big boost of energy to start the vehicle. The problem is the chemical reaction slows down in the cold. When the temperature drops, the battery may still be fully charged and work, but it cannot supply the same power as it could on a warmer day. This is why winter is so hard on batteries and why it's so important to keep it fully charged at all times. In winter, the colder it becomes, the harder it is to get the power from the battery and able to start the vehicle. This is how and why we see vehicles turning over feeling very sluggish during the winter, but would be fine in the summer. During the cold weather, the engine oil also becomes thicker, therefore putting a higher demand on the battery. So by the time that the power gets to the starter motor, she's feeling sluggish. Let's compare it to honey. Honey that has been left out against honey in the fridge, its density becomes heavier and it's much harder to get out. So now the battery is in a difficult position. The battery can only give so much, but the starter motor is demanding more. But this doesn't quite explain it all. So what we need to look at is the days, the weeks, even the months before the battery has failed. Short winter trips leave the battery lower. The issue with winter driving is the electrical load. There's so much more demand on the vehicle during this time. We have obviously heated rear screen, heated seats, could be heated mirrors, heated rear windows. All of these are huge demand, and during colder weather we're doing shorter journeys and we're not giving the alternator time on which to replace the energy that has been taken out. This is why battery failure can feel like it's happened overnight, but in truthfulness this has been happening over days and possibly weeks. We now have three things working together that can be suspect as to why the battery is not working correctly. The battery gives us less in the cold, the engine is asking for more power during the cold, and winter driving can leave the battery in a discharged state. So let me ask you this. Your car has failed in the cold weather, but yet your neighbour has managed to start his. Why has this happened to me? A healthy battery has more reserve. Although the vehicle is demanding more power during the cold, it has the power in which to do it. A poor state of charged battery will suffer. It hasn't got enough to give you that start. It doesn't always mean to say that the battery needs replacing, it could just need a charge. In the next section, we'll look at how to tell the difference. This can be due to the short journeys or vehicle standing, as what we mentioned earlier in the video. The difficulty is that the voltage alone does not always tell you the full story. A battery may show good voltage, but it doesn't mean to say that the inner power is enough to start the vehicle. This is why a proper battery tester is useful, to show you both the state of health and its state of charge. We're looking to check to see if it can deliver enough power during the colder weather. As a simple guide, charging a newer battery might very well help, but an older battery, it might not be able to retain the charge and it might just prolong its health for a few months. At this point, replacing the battery is usually the best form of action. This subject gets more interesting. This same small battery does not also affect petrols and diesels, but also EV vehicles as well. Most people assume that EV vehicles won't suffer with this problem because there's a high voltage electrical battery underneath it. Most EV vehicles still rely on a 12-volt battery to wake it up and for all the other running requirements. So even if the EV battery is fully charged, a weak or depleted 12-volt battery can still stop it from starting. If you want to understand why 12-volt batteries deplete in EV vehicles and why 12-volt batteries can still stop an advanced vehicle from working, watch this next video.